fellow beaders, it's JP, and in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make this bracelet. This bracelet is made from components that I made individually and then put together with some type of connection here. So I've got 3 connections and 4 components, and then I've got another set of 2 connections on either end for the clasp. The other great thing about this tutorial is that I am doing this in collaboration with Gina from Gina's Gem Creations, and she is going to do a matching piece of jewelry. So most likely she's doing a necklace, but it might be earrings, and so she's going to make something similar. It's going to be probably not in the same colors that I've used here, but she's doing it based on how I've made my component. Okay, so what you need for the bracelet, and so for the individual component, you're going to need 20 superduo beads, and I have here gold copper, that's the color I'm using, of superduos. You'll also need fire polish beads, and you'll need 16 of those per component, and I have a gold smoky topaz luster is the color that I'm using, and these are 4 millimeters. You'll also need 2 per connector. And this is all, these numbers are going to depend on how many components you need to make for your wrist, and then also how many connectors you'll need to make. I've got a small wrist, mine's only about probably 7 inches here, and so I made 4 components, and then I had a total of 5 connections. In addition, you'll need 11 seed beads. So as you can see in this component, there are seed beads just sorted in the back, and also for the connections. And the last thing you'll need are I have about 20 beads that I use just in the connections. So there's 4 per connector, and so you will need those also. Anyway, I hope you guys like this tutorial, and I will have the link to Gina's tutorial in the description box. So you guys can make the bracelet watching my video, and then you can go over to her channel and make a matching piece of jewelry watching her tutorial. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the collaboration that we're doing here together, and have fun. Oh, by the way, I also forgot to mention that you'll need the clasp of your choice. I've used a lobster claw clasp with some jump rings, so you'll need 2 to 3 jump rings. And you'll need a beading needle and some thread. I've used 6-pound wildfire thread since I don't have any fireline. So I've used the black in 0.006. And per component, you want about half an arm span. So you just want to take the thread, hold it in your fingers, and then pull it to your shoulder and cut it. And that should be more than enough to make a component and give you some extra to make the connection. Okay guys, now I'm done. Go ahead and enjoy. To make this component, what you're going to need are some fire polish beads, superduos, and some seed beads. So this is the back, this is the front of the component. To begin with, what you're going to do is you're going to string 4 of your fire polish and 4 superduos in alternating order, and then you're just going to go back around the beads and make a circle. So I don't want a very long tail, so that's all I'm going to do for this. And now all you need to do is make a knot. So go ahead and make a square knot, and make sure beads are nice and snug together. You don't want any thread showing. Leave it there for now. And I'm going to go ahead and take my working end and pull it through a couple of beads. And that should move the knot away. And I'm going to get rid of the tail. All right, so your next step is to pick up 3 superduos and you're going to go around your fire polish bead. Like so. So you're exiting a fire polish and you're going to just go back around. I'm going to have to move my component out of the way. And this is what you get. And then you're going to go into this next superduo and come out of the next fire polish. And you are going to repeat what you just did by picking up 3 superduos and going around the fire polish. Now go through the superduo and the fire polish. Next, pick up 3 superduos. Go back around your fire polish, and I'm actually going to go through into the next superduo. And last time, go into the fire polish, pick up 3 superduos, and go back around the same fire polish from which the thread is exiting. So you are going to get this. Here's what your component should look like. And now what you're going to do is you are actually going to keep going. You're going to go through the superduo of the fire polish. And now we're going to have to step up into this next round of these superduos that we just added. So I'm going to go through the bottom holes of the superduos. So I'm going to go through the 2 and then I'll go through this third one. They're not quite lined up, so they're not, you might not be able to get through all 3 at the same time. And then we are just going to go up into the top hole. And pick up your fire polish and go into the next superduo, like so. Do it again, pick up fire polish, go into this superduo from the group of 3, then this one down here, and then the first one in the next group of 3. So you're actually going to go through 3 superduos. And that's what you're going to get. Now you're going to add a fire polish. And again, pick up a fire polish. And this time you're going to do the same thing you did before. You're going to go through 3 superduos. So this one, our third one in our group of 3 here, this one, and then this first one in the next group of 3. And you may have to go through that one separately. So there you go. So you're kind of bringing the whole groups together. And we are going to repeat again. Pick up your fire polish, go through the superduo. Should pop right into place. Pick up another fire polish. And we're going to go into our last superduo in the group of 3, the center superduo here, and then the first superduo in the next group of 3. And we're going to go ahead and pick up another fire polish and go through the superduo. Pick up another fire polish. Go through the 2 superduos here, and then the third one. And this is what you have. You should have like a plus sign basically in your component so far. The next part is to go into the fire polish, then the superduo, and the fire polish if you can do it. Sometimes, depending on how the beads are sitting next to each other, you might not be able to go through them at the same time. Now you're going to pick up 2 11-0 seed beads, a superduo, and then 2 more 11-0 seed beads. So here's what you have: 2 11-0 superduo and 2 11-0s. And you're going to go into the next fire polish here, like so. And you'll get a little point like that. Then go into the superduo and the fire polish. And we're going to repeat what we just did. Pick up 2 seed beads, superduo, and 2 more seed beads. Go into fire polish, superduo, fire polish. So go into those. So you want to get in between the gaps here so you can add our seed beads and superduo. So next step, pick up 2 seed beads, superduo, and 2 more seed beads. Go into the fire polish. All right, we have 1 more set to add through. So again, you're going through the superduo, the fire polish, and that's what you have. So this last one, you're going to go 2 seed beads, superduo, and 2 seed beads, go through the fire polish. And there's your component so far. Now you're going to keep moving forward. So you're going to go through this superduo and the fire polish and seed bead, the next seed bead, and just the superduo. And now I'm just going to turn my work and I'm going to go up into the upper hole of the superduo. Now you're going to pick up 5 11-0 seed beads. I got 6. Okay, so there's 5, my 5 11-0s, and I'm going to go into the next superduo from this round that we just added, and I'm going to pull. And that's what you want to do, is you want to bring it together. So it's going to seem a little weird right now, so just wait until you get them all in place. So you're going to do this 3 more times. You're going to pick up 5 seed beads, go into this next superduo, and here's what we're getting. So you remember we're making this little diamond shape here in the back is what we're doing. And 5 more 11-0s, and we're going into this next superduo, and last time. Picked up 5, and I'm going into the first superduo where we started. Okay, so there you have it. There's our diamond shape. And now what you need to do is actually go back and reinforce this. At least go through it once or twice. And Okay, so this should be nice and tight, and there your component is done. It didn't take very long. It's actually a very quick little component. Now what you're going to do is make a 1/2 inch knot here. Actually, yes, you're going to make a knot here. Just go underneath the thread, make sure you're not getting, okay. And then I'm actually just going to step down. So we're in this, coming out of this hole of the superduo, so I'm just going to go into this hole. If I can find the hole. Seed bead's blocking me. Okay, there we go. Go down into that hole, and then down just the 2 seed beads. And your component is complete. Now to connect the components together, so I've got 3 of these already connected together, and so to make our connection I've used seed beads 11 O's, the same ones that I was using here, and I've used 2 fire polish and 4 O beads. So now you're going to need to bring out your O beads. And what you need to do, and I'm going to get myself in position here, is you need to be coming out of the 2 seed beads. So it doesn't matter, any of these, depends on wherever you end up, but it doesn't matter. And so we are connecting the components at the connection point of the 2 seed beads, the superduo, and the 2 seed beads. So that's our connection point. And we are going to pick up a seed bead, an O bead, a seed bead, and then a fire polish, then a seed bead, an O bead, and a seed bead. So this is what you have. So you got your seed bead, your O bead, seed bead, fire polish, and then again you have another seed bead, O bead, and seed bead. You are going to go into I went too far. All right. You actually want to be coming out of the first seed bead and not the second seed bead. So I'm going back out before I do anything. So it's just the seed bead here, the superduo, and the seed bead. Those are our connection points. Sorry about that. So again, I'm just going to pick up my little set here of O's and okay, so there I have it. So I'm just going to go into seed bead, the fire polish, or sorry, not the fire polish, but the superduo, and the seed bead next on the other side of the superduo. So that's what you want. You just want those 3 things. And this is what you're going to get. And now you're going to pick up the same thing again. Seed bead, O bead, 11O or seed bead, fire polish, 11O, but that one looks weird, 11O, O bead, 11O. And now we're going to go through, I'm going to push these down. We're going to go through the seed bead here next to the superduo, and then the superduo, and then the seed bead next to on the other side. So just made a circle, basically. And that's it to do our connections. So I'm just going to flip this over so I can see what I'm doing and I can reinforce this. So you want to go through this at least 2 more times to make this nice and tight. So I'm just going to go through these. As many beads as I can. So I got through almost whole beads on one side. And I'm going to turn it again. And I'm going to come out of the superduo. And now I'm going to go down into the next seed bead. And then I am actually going to work my way down, and I'm actually going to go into the seed bead that's next to the fire polish instead of the one that's connecting to the O bead. And now I'm just going to make some half-hitch knots. Basically, I'm just going to go through a couple more beads, make one more half-hitch knot, and then I will show you how to put the clasp on and for the bracelet. So we should have our bracelet almost finished because I don't actually need any more components. So for me, 4 components is sufficient, but it's really up to whatever length you need to make the bracelet. Okay, fellow beaders, so I am coming out of my last component here. I've actually just went ahead and added thread, so I just went through here, made some half-hitch knots, and then just worked my way through adding a couple more half-hitch knots. So I have a lot of extra thread here. Now to add the clasp, I'm actually going to make a very similar design as to what I have here. So I'm going to pick up my seed bead, my O bead, seed bead, then I got a fire polish, then an O, a seed and an O, like so. I'm going to pick up my clasp, and I've got my clasp and it's got a jump ring on it already, and push those down, and then I'm going to go ahead and pick up another set of seed beads, a seed bead, an O bead, a seed bead, a fire polish, and again my little seed bead, O bead, seed bead. So, and then all I'm going to do is go back through basically the 3 beads that I've been working with. So the seed bead, the superduo here, and the seed bead on the opposite side, which is where my thread is exiting. And that's it. So, and there's my clasp is on. And now all you got to do is reinforce and just go through all the beads several times. So I'm just going to flip it because I'm left-handed and just easier to work in this direction for me. And since the point where the clasp comes on is always gets a lot of wear and tear, so you definitely want to do a lot of reinforcing. And Okay, so there you have it. There's your piece. So now I'm actually going to go ahead and work down into seed bead here. That's actually next to the fire polish. And then into the fire polish. Okay, so once you've reinforced your clasp a few times, just go ahead and work your thread back into the component. So I've kind of worked my way down. So go through into the seed bead here, right here, and then into the fire polish, make some half-inch knots, and just make sure your thread is secure. And we're done with one side so far. So, and this is what you get. Now we're going to just repeat the exact same thing on this side. So go ahead and do that and we'll be back. Okay, here it is. The bracelet is done. So I got my lobster claw clasp on this side. And so all I did was add a jump ring with the clasp, and then on the opposite side I did the exact same thing, except I'm just adding a couple of jump rings. And this is the reverse of the bracelet. And I only have 4 components. I have a pretty small wrist, but obviously you guys can make this as long as you need. And it actually sits nicely on your wrist. It's got a little bit of weight to it, so it feels really good. I hope you guys like this particular tutorial. Okay, and well, Gina's Gem Creation is going to do a matching necklace to this. So stay tuned. Go to her channel to learn how to make a matching necklace. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this and see you on the next tutorial.